Stephanie here with Xavier, Anna, and Marquez, and we are the 4 YouTubers of, well, this apocalypse. What else could you call it? Regardless of natural disasters and politics, it basically feels like every day in 2020 has been, well, apocalyptical. Well, let's get started with Kyle Rittenhouse, okay? What the media failed to tell you is that he was there actually to support little businesses, mom and pops, who are not politicians or celebrities who live in gated communities. And he's also a registered EMT. And he was there previously, and he was interviewed by all media, serving and helping rioters that have been hurt, okay? What they failed to tell you is he was chased down. And in the videos, you can clearly hear rioters, not protesters, rioters saying, get him, kill him. Regardless of what ethnicity you are, your religious background, what political party you support, at the end of the day, you don't attack someone and aim to kill them. That is wrong. And I think the mainstream media misses that entire point because they're making it seem like anybody who stands up, like Kyle, or goes to actually do good and be a medic and clean things up, gets labeled as a supremacist, Donald Trump supporter. They don't care about Black lives, but left and right, the media is also suppressing the truth of how many Blacks and Latinos and Asians are actually gunning for Trump. What do you think, Xavier?
When you mentioned that about Kyle, I noticed that they keep harping on the fact that he has an AR-15, and they're not talking about. I just found out actually through you with the EMT situation. I know that, and he has an AR-15. Oh, he crossed state lines. But looking further into it, he actually was within the law with the weapon, of course, and everything. The only thing he did wrong, pretty much, is the age. That's what it is. But still, that doesn't give him a right to attack him. Because if I'm not going to attack me, then whatever. I'm going to defend myself. That's crazy.
But you have to see it. They just charged him with capital murder. Capital murder means you go with the full intent to kill someone. That was self-defense, not capital murder. What do you think, Anna?
I mean, it's insane because they charged him with that. And I actually saw something from his defense attorney. It was the guy who was the defense attorney for Nick Sandmann. He took him like pro bono, I believe. And he said that he legally owned had the gun. And he didn't even cross state lines. So that's all false. And there's a video of him saying he's going there to help people. And he seemed like a sweet little kid. And so they just pounce on him with their evilness. And then the guy who was all for Antifa, who shot the Patriot Pair guy and killed him because he felt threatened by his presence. They're doing interviews for him. So it's completely backwards as usual, but it's just
what you say about what they say about the appearance and all that. Have you noticed anybody who goes to these protests, whether you're Black, regardless of what you are, if you go there to protest what's right and to make people aware of what's really happening, you see the total mayhem and destruction. Marquez, you have a friend named Brandon, right? Who just experienced something similar, taking a stand.
Yeah. Unfortunately, our justice system is been so corrupted that, like you mentioned earlier about, Kyle, he gets charged with that, was it capital murder, I believe. But anyways, yeah.
That's pretty
I'm just
serious.
saying, he gets charged with that, right? But then they don't charge the actual people that was actually intending to actually cause harm, the rioters, for example. But I'm that doesn't make any sense to me. It's so backwards. And I'm come on, people, you guys are are you really that, are they really that butthurt? It all stems from the 2016 election. That's what I believe. Like, are they really that butthurt that they have to just make up these heinous, putting these labels on people without, like, any facts or evidence just because that's what they feel? And it's just like, wow. I mean, if we're going to continuously keep going this route as a country, then I don't know what to say, because, like, you are asking for major civil unrest.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to get it out.
Honestly, you and Xavier, you're the prime targets for an Uncle Tom or all this other thing.
Oh, yeah.
All these talking.
Oh, yeah.
But
Absolutely.
when you think about it, only the Democrats use your race against you if you don't support them. That's what the media is lying about too. They lie and they manipulate everything. When it comes to schools,
well, you know what's really crazy?
CDC, when it comes to just the simple facts of gun laws. If you have a right to carry an AR-15, just because someone is scared of the boogeyman doesn't mean you make laws to protect them from the boogeyman. Like, who? This
is up to a therapist.
Right?
Exactly. Here's the thing. Okay. Here's, go on.
Well, something that came to mind for me is, like, people keep telling me, like, on social media who don't agree with me that I shouldn't call myself a Christian because I don't like abortion and stuff like that, which is ridiculous. And, like, I just had the thought of, like, what if they're like, well, in the 10 Commandments, it says not to kill people. I just looked it up just now just to double check what it says, and it says do not murder. To me, there's a difference between murder and killing. Like, it's about the intent of your heart. And that Antifa guy literally was like, yeah, I needed to kill them because they were there and they had an American flag.
That's so horrible.
Because he was so delusional. Yeah.
We're in America.
He also said he protected his friend who was a person of color. He made sure he emphasized that because, that's what's what you call it. That's what's trending now. You gotta have a black guy.
You know what I find funny? And I just remember my thought. Now, of course, Antifa, they're saying about, like, BLM and stuff. But I find it really funny that,
Move your phone closer to you.
Yeah, I got you. I find it really funny that, like, there was a cop, a police officer, African American, he was a father of 3 children, and the guy that killed the cop, he was Caucasian, he was probably Antifa, but, like, they were completely silent about that. I was like, that's why I it's a prime example why Antifa, BLM is just like a total joke, because, like, they look at someone like me, and I'm like, as patriotic as I am, and think for Xavier, like, they won't care about us. Like, no, like, come on.
Yeah.
No, you know what's even crazier? If you go on Twitter, white Hispanic is trending because a Hispanic cop actually stood for the Constitution, fired his gun, and now they're calling him a white Hispanic. So this is how it breaks down, guys.
Wow.
If you're white and you go by any law that's constitutional, by any law by the book, you're guilty. You're screwed either way. The best thing is, if you're white, don't take the melatonin shots that are like white boys are taking and looking all crazy tan with their, cornrows. But honestly, I think it's best for people to just kind of lay low, because we have an entire monopoly of media pumping these people full of it, and we are such a silent majority because they silence us. So I think even though we're seeing it, they want the rage, and I think people need to see it's a mind game and don't let them win. Especially after Hillary Clinton today. Bill looked like he was, suicidal.
And like Maxine Waters, for one example, like since 2016 has been like just egging this on. Like her famous quote, like, let them know that they're not welcome, get out and harass them, basically. And nobody listened to me when I said that seemed like a problem. And apparently there's a lot of others saying
similar things. That either. No one debated that.
Yeah.
No one debated that she said that, which is crazy.
Exactly.
Like, I saw that video that you sent me. And
they didn't believe it?
No one. You hear anything about anybody saying, oh, that's wrong with Maxine Waters? No, nobody's saying anything about that.
Narcissistic sociopaths. Sociopaths believe their own reality. You could show them actual proof, the videotape of them doing something, and they'll be like, no, see, what happened was they can't. And that's what we're dealing with. This is a spiritual war. Our society this world is spiritually dead. It's all about likes, subscribe, shares, money, 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 money. Look at my new bag. Look at my cars. Look at my
slaves probably made.
Lips. You know, it's like nobody fundamentally even knows anybody anymore because our entire environment is through a virtual world, which is fake because we filter it, you know, and people feel like they can't be themselves. So you have lonely people now scared, even more alone, going broke, and the Democrats' plan turned everybody against each other. Their last two causes, military and the police.
And you know what?
And that's why they're telling the military
what?
and the police to stand down in these democratic cities, to make us next turn against those institutions.
You know what? And I was just thinking, you know, I actually came across this video where, you know, of course, you know, it's by a lady by the name of Lisa Haven. Many of you know
Love her.
Yes. She said, and I was watching the video today, she said, you know, like the old Soviet Union, it's like very well alive in America today. Think about it. If Stalin like had the internet back then, I mean, he would have like sent people like crazy back then. And if people that, you know, that since we all are on the same, like, you know, political, like, you know, viewpoint, you know, they would like consider us like, you know, like, we're like kind of like mentally unstable or like, you know, a threat to society. And she was just breaking this down perfectly. And, you know, she's right because, you know, like you got the media like now, like, you know, basically like, you know, harassing us in a way, like get people to harass us, you know, slander us, dragging our names through the mud. And this is how it starts. You know, they divide, you know, it's like divide and conquer. They get the people like, you know, those that, you know, agree with the tyrannical movement, you know, they use them as pawns to attack us. And, you know, of course, you know, that's when they start rounding up people, you know, like to get like, you know, to disown, you know, your very own neighbor. And it's like, it's really sad, to be honest.
It is.
You know, they've taken down all the statues in this country, right? But you know,
Yes.
Lenin is still up. He was a communist revolutionary. He's still up. Nancy Pelosi called them works of art. Nancy Pelosi called them works of art, and Lenin can't be taken down. They might as well put Stalin and do all that. I mean, do people, like here in Houston, guys, I'm honestly legit scared. When you're talking about like the Soviet Union, just like we're watching what Kyle's dealing with, like the McCloskeys, people who just defend themselves become the criminals while the criminals walk free.
Yes.
Okay? So think about it like this. All right? Right now, sorry, that's my dog. Sorry about that. Ugh, okay, I just lost my train of thought. No, like with Stalin and all that, you have the entire mainstream media telling people what their reality is and what it's not. So honestly, we're all victims. Everybody who's getting shot in riots, people who are getting beaten up, people who are going bankrupt, they can't open their business salons unless Nancy Pelosi calls them. Every race, every religion, we are all victims to this kind of nonsense, if you think about it. Because the minute you try to defend yourself, you already know what they do.
What are your closing thoughts, Xavier?
When I was looking at the how the USSR came to power and how it fell, and you know how basically USSR broke up into I think 11 separate countries. And I was like, wow. I started making me think about the United States. If the United States was a fall and break up into small countries, since we have 50 states, imagine the separate countries and everything like that. But how would that be successful? Because all those little countries that Russia gave birth to, they're not doing like as well as Russia. Russia's not doing as good as they used to be when they were the USSR.
Do you know how they gain power? It's slow and methodical. Think about it. We had Chinese government, the US, all of these countries not aware that Hitler killed how many Jews day after day after day after day?
That's crazy.
Because the media, nobody, but now with technology, they're not even reporting really what's going on around this world. I mean, my God. So imagine if the Pope during the Holocaust even admitted and wrote down and documented that he was not totally honest about being aware of 6 million Jews getting prosecuted. Right now, who does the media always attack if you don't agree? If you tell them the truth, not a conspiracy, like in Houston, they're coming door to door to random houses to take our blood voluntarily. If the government shows up to your house, are you going to feel like you're not intimidated? I mean, come on. This is what Hitler did.
Involuntarily, like you don't have a choice, supposedly?
No, you have it. You're voluntarily.
Okay.
They're randomly picking people
crazy.
Voluntarily give a sample. But mind you, the defund the police movement, they want police to have a 4-year education, right? These health squad people that are coming to our house, like the Gestapo, okay, to get our blood and vaccinate us, they only need a 6-month online health program.
No.
So you are not, this is like CPS, but medical.
Online. Oh my gosh.
No, can you imagine how people weaponize CPS now? Imagine them with the COVID health squad, yo. They can be like, dude, that she was yesterday. Go get that. Go get her. Go get her. I mean, think about it. We see how these things get weaponized. And if a little mini man behind the big curtain gets into power, well, we're all hostage, like what Obama is still doing to us.
Well, we're coming to the end of our time here, but this was an interesting conversation. And if anybody watching has not seen the movie Jojo Rabbit, I saw it on the way to Philadelphia. It kind of explains, it's like a parallel to what's going on now. It's based in Nazi Germany. So yeah, I suggest watching.
Wait, on Netflix or Hulu?
I don't know. It was just on the airplane. It was one of the choices.
Yeah,
so,
I would question it and fact check all of it, not with Google fact checkers, with real fact checkers, history. Because anything they're pushing, you gotta question it.
Yeah, that's true. I liked it.
Exactly.
Yeah. When you think about it like this, they're coming to our houses because they need to give us, they need antibodies from our blood, right? But didn't you just finish a vaccine? So wait, you're still researching.
I know, right? Yeah.
What the
heck?
Like, why are you still researching it if you have a cure? Back up, homie. Back up. Because it's unconstitutional. You don't have the right to search and see.
Oh, my dad lives in Hawaii. He said on one of the main highways there's checkpoints set up to like check people for COVID or something. He's like, I'm just avoiding that highway, and if they try to make me take the vaccine, like let the chips fall where they may.
And in all reality, like I had a conversation with a real, like legit thing, and the medical professionals, they see it, they know what's going on. So honestly, there is hope for us because there are people out there who are legit and they're not money hungry and they really care about the wealth and they have good bedside manner and they wouldn't inject us with some
that's true
Bill Gates vaccine. There are good people out there, but without us all talking together and networking.
Yeah, I know a couple cool nurses.
Each other.
All right, well, thank you everybody for watching. We'll be here again next week. Check out each of our individual channels. The links will be in the description of this video, and we'll share away.
Definitely. Don't forget Marquez speech, Walk Away campaign with Brandon Straka. And I love that gay guy. What was his name?
Mike Harlow.
Oh, I love him. So anyways, check out that stuff. Marquez is the man.
I have a video of it all on my channel.
You all are also, don't forget
to
check out our social media pages.
Yes.
Also, and our individual YouTube channels. We're all a little different with a little bit of spice with us, but together we're like, the four YouTubers of the apocalypse. I was gonna say like, Avengers, but we're like Avengers / YouTubers because we are digital soldiers. We are. We're a digital army.
Yes, we are.
All right.
We
See you
are.
next time. Bye.
Bye.